In the Shehzadeh Mosque, which Sinan referred to as his apprentice work, he first solved the architectural challenge of supporting semi-domes, creating a structure with 4 of them. This square-planned mosque, the first with a double axis of symmetry, is covered by a large central semi-spherical dome and 4 semi-domes placed on each side. All the domes rest on 4 massive elephant feet pillars. As in Sinan's other works, the decorative style is marked by restraint and elegance. The mosque's large outer courtyard has 6 gates, 2 pairs of slender minarets, each with 2 sherefe, or balconies, flank the main entrance. This detail remains one of the mosque's most striking features. The complex also includes an imaret, or soup kitchen, madrasa, tabhana, or guest house, and turbe, or mausoleum. Earthquake-resistant marvel. The Süleymaniye complex, one of the greatest monuments of Ottoman architecture, has withstood more than 100 earthquakes in Istanbul without sustaining damage. The Süleymaniye Mosque, commissioned by Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent and built between 1551 and 1557, rises to a height of 53 meters. Its enormous dome, with a diameter of 27.5 meters, is supported by semi-domes, much like the Hagia Sophia. The courtyard is surrounded by 4 minarets of varying heights. 2 on the northern side, each have 2 sherefe and reach a height of 56 meters. The other 2, directly adjoining the mosque, are 76 meters tall and have 3 sherefe each. According to Sinan's calculations, the drum of the central dome includes 32 windows, ensuring ideal natural lighting. Sinan also calculated the airflows inside the mosque, which collected soot from oil lamps into a special room above the main entrance. That soot was later used to make ink, which calligraphers used to decorate the interiors. The courtyard is encircled by 28 arched galleries, or ravaks. At the center of the rectangular courtyard stands the Shadurvan, a fountain used for ritual ablution. The mausoleums of Süleyman the Magnificent and his wife, Hürrem Sultan, are located in the outer courtyard of the mosque.
Sinan's engineering genius. As researchers note, Sinan never placed a single stone without precise calculation. Everything you see here has been mathematically reasoned, one historian of architecture explains. Sinan understood soil mechanics and earthquake resistance. He even heated his mosques from beneath the floor. The Süleymaniye includes a soot collection chamber. People often ask me about it. I reply, I can't explain it. I know where it is, I know its shape. Past generations simply said, here's the soot room. The soot was collected here and turned into ink. The lamps burned all across the mosque. But how did the soot end up only there? Why wasn't the rest of the mosque blackened? I'm still studying this mystery. It contains an entire hidden science. The master of domes. In Sinan's architecture, domes were used both as single vaults and in complex combinations with semi-domes, depending on the size of the space. Even early in his career, Sinan developed a flawless load-bearing system, a synthesis of the main dome, arches, pendentives, and semi-domes. The structural behavior of this monolithic system under load is extremely complex. Understanding how it functions requires modern computer modeling. For this research, engineers used the SAP 2000 structural analysis program. They analyzed how the roofing systems of Sinan's mosques responded to their own weight. The study included mosques with square bases, such as Mihrimah Sultan in Edirnekepe, Süleymaniye, Mihrimah Sultan in Üsküdar, and Şehzade Mehmet, as well as those with hexagonal, Kara Ahmet Pasha, Sokolu Mehmet Pasha in Kadirga, and octagonal bases, Sokolu Mehmet Pasha in Azakapi and Selimiye. To ensure accurate calculations, the digital models only included the parts of the building above the point where the arches meet the supporting columns. The results revealed the structural interplay between the main dome, arches, semidomes, and pendentives, and numerically mapped out the behavior of each system. It was determined that buildings with hexagonal and octagonal support systems were safer in terms of stress distribution and deformation.
We served for the sake of Allah and await our reward in the eternal life.
In Sinan's architecture, the dome was the very center of gravity of the entire structure. The whole composition was formed around its support. Combining technical mastery with creative vision, Sinan achieved a perfect harmony, becoming an entire era in traditional architecture. He used domes in mosques, baths, mausoleums, and many other buildings. When examining the upper part of Sinan's structures, focused around the main dome, one can see a clear support system. Through intermediate and auxiliary elements on lower levels, the loads and forces from the dome are transferred down to the foundation. Sinan employed three main types of dome support systems: square, hexagonal, and octagonal. Over his lifetime, he developed 4 variations of both the square and hexagonal types and 3 variations of the octagonal. How does a dome bear its load? A dome, as a spatial load-bearing shell, is used to cover buildings with square, polygonal, or circular layouts. It transmits vertical loads, such as its own weight and snow, to its surface to the base. When the horizontal component of the force becomes significant, the dome is reinforced by a tension ring. Sinan used domes in mosques, madrasas, baths, and mausoleums, applying different building techniques. This element carries loads through internal forces, evenly distributed across its thickness and acting parallel to its mid-surface. Today, the impact of loads on a dome and the internal forces they create are calculated both theoretically and numerically using the shell theory. If the load distribution is optimal and the support method is chosen correctly, the dome, aside from point loads and temperature effects, primarily resists distributed forces such as weight, snow, and wind through membrane action. This is why historical domes, even when built from materials with low tensile strength compared to compression, can carry loads with minimal thickness and thus with minimal material consumption. Materials of Sinan's domes. In traditional architecture, domes and vaulted systems were often built from Khorasan masonry. Khorasan is crushed and ground-fired brick or roof tile. Khorasan mortar is a mixture of Khorasan powder and air lime. This mortar was widely used in Byzantine, Seljuk, and Ottoman structures, including those of the 15th century and later. In Sinan's constructions, domes, vaults, and arches were made of Khorasan masonry, while walls and piers were made of stone. Another common material was kagir, a composite made from natural stone or fired clay brick, bound with mortar. Kagir can stand up to compressive forces up to certain limits, but has very low tensile strength. Therefore, the load-carrying capacity of such structures
Чтобы меня поминали
depends
добром,
on the quality of
получали благословение,
materials, precision
чтобы
of
заслужить
construction,
благоволение Аллаха.
building
Я
techniques,
создал все
and
эти
environmental
произведения.
conditions during the curing period after completion. Kagger is a heterogeneous material with a density ranging from 2.1 to 2.2 tons per cubic meter. He carved the sky with stone and left an empire standing on his shoulders. One man turned domes into dreams and dreams into monuments that defied time. Mimar Sinan was not merely an architect. He became a symbol of an era when the Ottoman Empire reached the height of its power. His works formed a bridge between East and West, blending Islamic spirituality with engineering genius. This story will take you deep into Sinan's world, from the mysteries of his biography to the secrets behind the construction of the greatest mosques that defy the passage of time. An architectural revolution, the scale of his legacy. Over his long career as chief architect of the Ottoman Empire from 1539 to 1588, Mimar Sinan created more than 400 significant structures. Among them were mosques, 81, prayer halls, 51, madrasas, 55, Quran schools, 26, mausoleums, 17, charity kitchens, 17, hospitals, 3, aqueduct systems, 5, caravanserais, 20, palaces, 36, storehouses, 8, baths, 48. Mimar Sinan remains one of the greatest architects in Ottoman history, whose works still inspire awe to this day. Here are 10 of his most renowned creations, presented for a modern audience. 1. Süleymaniye Mosque in Istanbul. Süleymaniye Mosque, which he called his work of the journeyman, is one of the largest mosques in Istanbul with a unique architectural composition. Located in the Fatih district, it holds immense religious significance and is considered one of the most important structures of the Ottoman period. It stands near the Egyptian Bazaar and the Grand Bazaar. Construction began in 1550 and was completed in 1557. The mosque was dedicated to Shehzad Mahmed and commissioned by Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, with the participation of all branches of the state. Among the people, it became known as the mosque that will never collapse, symbolizing its extraordinary strength. Beyond its role as a place of worship, the mosque also served as an educational center. Part of its complex housed a madrasa. 2. Selimiye Mosque in Edirne. Selimiye Mosque in Edirne, which Sinan proudly called his masterpiece, stands in the city of Edirne and is regarded as one of his crowning achievements. It is a jewel of Turkish Ottoman art and world architecture. Commissioned by Sultan Selim II, the mosque is distinguished by its 4 soaring minarets and by its site selection, a testament to Sinan's skill as an urban planner. Built of finely cut stone, the mosque covers 1,620 square meters inside, expanding to 2,475 square meters, including the courtyard. Its dome rises to 43.28 meters, with a diameter of 31.3 meters, surpassing even that of Hagia Sophia. The dome rests on 8 massive columns connected by arches 6 meters wide. 4 corner domes and a semi-dome over the mihrab reinforce the central structure. Selimiye is celebrated not only for its architectural brilliance, but also for its exquisite decorations, stone and marble carvings, colorful tiles, intricate woodwork, and shimmering mother-of-pearl inlays. Its mihrab and minbar are masterpieces of marble craftsmanship, while the Islamic tiles, made with the underglaze painting technique, represent the finest example